Hi guys, and welcome to my top tips to playing the online game League of Legends. I'll be walking you through 8 tips in total today, all of which when applied in game will help you increase your skill and your chances of winning. Let's get straight into it then. My first tip is knowing that farming minions and monsters is more important than getting kills. Getting gold is essential in League, as it lets you buy more items so that you can get stronger as the game goes on. When looking at the value of each aspect, getting a kill is worth 300 gold, and this value decreases if you get more kills on the same enemy without them getting any kills on your team. Farming minions gives you roughly 20 gold each, meaning that getting 15 minion kills is the same as getting 1 kill. Farming 15 minions is a lot easier however than trying to work around getting kills, and so is essential if you want to improve your game. I suggest learning this in a custom game at first, as a way of practicing before you face a game against real enemy players, as they can make farming difficult. After concentrating on just farming for 10 minutes, I ended up accumulating 80 minions, and with the gold over time that automatically occurs, I ended up with 2000 gold. After focusing on getting kills more than farming for 10 minutes, I ended up with 2 kills, 1 death, and only 35 minions. This gave me around 1500 gold, but this meant that my enemy laner had more gold than me because they had been farming, and I had given them a kill as well. It can be seen in the stats that farming is a majorly important aspect to playing League of Legends. Next on the agenda is item buying. Knowing what to buy and when to buy it can be game changing. Having the extra stats from an item in a team fight can be the difference between winning or losing it, and even the whole game for that matter. Item builds change between most champions, and rarely do you buy the same items in any 2 games. This is because of the many different scenarios that can be presented in the game, as there are over 100 champions, and no 2 matches should ever be the same. With so many items to choose from, you'll always have an item for every situation. An example of the importance of the right items can be seen now as I played the champion Master Yi. He is meant to be built as a full attack damage champion, but I bought ability power items to demonstrate his weakness with the wrong items. I was easily killed, but when I came back with some more appropriate items, there was no competition, and I slayed the enemy with ease. The next point to remember is vision. League of Legends is a fog of war game, meaning that much of the map is unable to be seen unless you position your character there, where you will be able to see a small radius around you, or if you place a ward there, where the same will apply. This means that the use of wards is ever so important in making sure your team knows what is going on all over the map at any time. Keeping control of vision on the map is crucial to creating picks and saving your own lives at the same time, as well as helping you know when to set up for objectives by knowing where the rest of the enemy team is. Bushes, however, are zones on the map where you cannot see into unless your character or a ward is placed directly in the bush. Being outside of it will not grant vision of the inside of the bush, and traps are often made inside these bushes. This is why wards are generally placed in bushes to grant vision inside and out. The fourth tip that I have today is creating a diverse team. This is to help create a balanced team that will have a good mix of damage, health, and utility, making for a match where you have more strengths to work around and less weaknesses to cover for. Having this mix of champion types will drastically increase your teamfight potential and help increases your chance of winning exponentially. Some different champion types include tank, carry, assassin, support, and fighter. A good example of a diverse team can be seen in this team composition, where most of the previously mentioned champion types are present, and this will make the team more likely to be successful. Tip 5 is picking the meta picks. This means that you should always be looking at the changes made to champions every patch when Riot tries to balance them, buffing the weaker champions and nerfing or weakening the stronger ones. However, there will always still be champions that are naturally stronger than others, so they're the ones that you should be looking at playing. Looking at what the professional players are picking in the competitive scene is a good way of seeing which are the stronger champs to play. The next tip is one that seems easy enough but is often overlooked. Communication. Communicating with your teammates is so simple, but it's instrumental in helping you know what is going across the map, in deciding what your next objective should be, where everyone should be going, and what they should be doing. You can set up kills, take up objectives, and work more efficiently as a team by just communicating effectively. This also means to not get mad at your teammates, scolding them for their mistakes, or putting them down for having a bad game. This makes your teammates less likely to want to win, as they just want the game to end. This means that your chances of winning are a lot smaller. Now I know there's been a few tips, but bear with me just a little bit longer, we're nearly there. The next tip to follow is to quickly immerse yourself in the various terms and phrases that are used whilst playing League. Knowing what these terms mean and when they are used helps increase your game knowledge, and it saves you from explaining what you want to say, because most of the terms just shorten the big sentences into one little word. For example, ganking refers to the jungler coming out from the fog of war and into a lane to assist their laner and to try and kill the enemy laner. Having these shorter terms available and ready to use means that you can understand better what is going on in the game, and this will improve your game experience. The last tip that I have to offer is to learn and play simple champions at first. Now this may sound like a given just because it makes so much sense, but so many people fall into the trap that they need to learn the complex champions to be good. That is not true at all, because learning how simple champions work at first can often lead to an easier understanding of other champions. Many mechanics of simple champs can be applied into the more difficult ones because they make for a good foundation of knowledge for learning to play other champions. Some extra points to keep in mind are: playing with friends is also a very good way to learn the game in a smoother, more lenient learning curve. Playing with more experienced friends can help you learn more about the game than a tutorial could teach you. And 2. Although you could play the official tutorial set up by Riot Games in-game, playing it offers little information about many aspects of the game that are vital to learn, meaning that it can take longer to learn the game from this tutorial compared to an online tutorial like this one. So let's have a look at what we can sum up from this video. The 8 major points to take from this are: 1. Farming minions and monsters is more essential than getting kills. 2. Learning what to buy is essential. 3. Warding, map awareness and farming are essential for beginners. 4. Having a diverse team increases your chances of winning. 5. Picking the meta picks helps increase your chances of winning. 6. Communicating with teammates in a sensible manner makes you more likely to win. 7. Learning the diverse terminology is essential. 8. Learn simple champions and roles at first. Keeping these important tips in mind whilst playing the game will increase your skill level exponentially, and with it, your chances of winning. Even as you get into more advanced decisions later in your gaming, always remember these simple basics that will keep you going in the right direction, as they are the foundations for the more advanced skills that will come later on in your playing. That's all from me for now, but I hope you'll keep my simple tips in mind next time you happen across the rift, and until then, good gaming.